I'm actually recording this before I've finished editing and released the previous video. So just know that right now, as I'm sitting here, I haven't finished episode 10 yet, and you're now watching episode 11. Yeah, it's been busy. Second nav flight today, going to Bathurst, Mudgee, a place I'd never heard of called Rylstone Airpark, and back into Bankstown via Richmond. But I still have this feeling there's going to be a couple of things that are going to take me by surprise. I've studied the chart to have a look at the different airspace that's around Richmond. You know, there's restricted zones and military zones. So fingers crossed this one goes well. Thankfully, I feel a bit more prepared than I did last time. It's a nice warm day, clear weather, might be a little bit bumpy over the mountains, but we'll see how we go. Right then.
Bankstown Tower, good day, Archer November Oscar Romeo at Charlie, ready for a downwind departure, 1 left.
November Oscar Romeo, Bankstown Tower, line up runway left and wait.
Line up and wait, runway left, November Oscar Romeo. Landing lights.
November Oscar Romeo, runway left, cleared for takeoff.
Clear takeoff, runway left, November Oscar Romeo. Time is 22, 3, 2, 1, now, speed off the brakes. Uniform November Hotel. Okay, airspeed's alive. T's and P's in the green. B5, rotate. Okay, 300 foot checks. Landing light, go. Fuel pump, go. Still in the green. 500 foot. Make a turn.
As we climbed out to the west, we wondered if the cloud was lower than we first thought and whether we'd get up to the cruise altitude.
Yeah, we're going to get quite a bit of turbulence over the mountains.
Oh, brilliant.
Probably won't get to 6 high, but we'll see how we go.
Passing Katoomba and the Blue Mountains on our left, the clouds started to open up, and then we heard another aircraft having some issues.
Okay, once we pass our waypoints, what's our next heading?
Same.
Okay?
Same, 282.
I want you to hold that heading.
Bravo, C Quebec. Bravo, C Quebec.
You have a problem passenger.
A problem passenger? Yeah.
Bravo, C Quebec, say again.
Hear him.
Bravo, C Quebec, do you need assistance?
Bravo, Whiskey, Quebec.
Bravo, Whiskey, Quebec, what can we do for you?
An issue on board here. We have a passenger that's out of control.
Bravo, Whiskey, Quebec, copied that.
Do you want to go, just maintain your heading? Keep the power and let it accelerate, because we're above 5,000 feet. Go to 2,500 RPM. 2,400, it won't get the cruise speed you're expecting.
Bravo, Whiskey, Quebec, would you like us to arrange for police to be meet you on arrival at Dubbo?
Negative at this stage. I'm descending now and I'll try to make a safe land.
Bravo, Whiskey, Quebec, copied that.
There are no police there anyway, surely.
What, Dubbo?
Yeah. The out-of-control passenger.
The human to Dubbo, there you go.
Bravo, Whiskey, Quebec, just for information, what's your POB?
Center Bravo, Whiskey, Quebec, say again.
Just wondering how many people you have on board.
One lady, female, and her 6-year-old son.
Copy that.
Yeah.
Slight technical hitch. The audio cable to the GoPro was accidentally removed, meaning that our voices could not be heard for this part of the flight. But as we got closer to the destination, the clouds had lifted and we'd climbed up. And when I spotted what had happened to the cable, I went about fixing it.
It's in, it's done.
Alright, then I'll have to watch out. I'll watch out for that.
All good.
Got it.
That just means there was no audio for the last... It's not a problem. I'll make the call.
Yeah, when you're ready.
On two. November Oscar Romeo, Cherokee, overhead 6,500, departing to the north, Bathurst traffic.
Awesome. Taking over.
Okay, you have control.
Chuck that on. Moving to a loss procedure.
Center, Bravo Whiskey Quebec, landed Bravo, Canada Starwatch.
Bravo Whiskey Quebec, your Dubbo Starwatch is terminated, and just confirm you and your passengers are all safe.
Negative, not at this stage, just taxiing into our office and we'll disembark in a second.
Okay.
Someone's waiting there for you.
From this just our office crew are waiting for us.
Bravo Whiskey Quebec, your Dubbo Starwatch terminated. G'day.
Okay, I have control.
Heading 360, please.
360.
Yes. The main thing is, another thing I've noted too, is that the cockpit organisation, that's making it harder.
Right.
Maybe, let me get back, I'll show you a note board to get. It just makes it easier.
Yeah.
Or if you can figure out another way that makes it easier. Or
Yeah, no, I'm all ears. I just, yeah, this is still quite new to me, and I'm not doing it regularly enough to be making improvements. So that's why I wanted to get in next week and hopefully the week after as well. Start getting some muscle memory in.
Okay. Alright, take it over.
You have control.
Take your hood off. Just chuck that back. So, we've got 1-6, so how long have we been flying? I'm going to talk you through this. So, we kind of taken the hood off. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to slow the plane right down.
Yeah.
2000 RPM, just do a slow cruise, 2 stages and flat. Trim. I'm going to talk you through this. So, how long have we been travelling for?
If we were overhead Bathurst at 08, be 8 or 9 minutes.
Let's just call it 10, mate, it's simple, right?
Okay.
Well, you can make it 9 if you want. So, let's call it 9 minutes. So, what ground speed have we been travelling at?
110 roughly.
Roughly 110, okay? So, we've been going about a 360 heading.
Yeah.
360 track, okay? So, now what you can do is, okay, well, grab your ruler, end up a track you had, draw 360 and pretty much 10 mile, how many miles from Bathurst, what you calculated?
Be about 18 miles.
18 miles, yeah, sounds about right.
So about there.
So what we're going to do is draw your dash where you think we are. Now go 10 miles each side of track. And then just do your best to kind of roughly connect them. And then that's your circle of probability. That's where we're going to roughly be.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is, when you draw that circle, we just look around, look outside, and let's just see what we have. So, and then we just kind of want to try and match it with what's in there. So I'm still circling, we haven't moved into position until, when you took off the hood, we're still in the same spot.
Yeah.
Look outside, what do you see?
See a small village or town or something.
There's a small town.
There's hills, there's a wind farm over there. Which, if there's more up there, yes there is. So, this village here could be Wattle Flat, it could be Safala.
I want you to kind of find a bit more to, it's one of them. I want you to kind of...
Okay, well, I'm trying to look for a river. There looks like a river down through a valley there. So I think that this is Wattle Flat.
Yeah.
And that there's another little settlement around the river there, which would be Safala.
Can you see the township of Safala?
Yeah, I think these buildings down here. I'm not 100% on that.
I want you to be 100%.
I can't see any reason why that isn't, so that's Safala. I'm identifying that as Safala.
So that's Safala, so that's Wattle Flat. What are another few things we can ensure that's Wattle Flat, apart from the town itself?
So there's the road forks out of it, which it does.
Okay, makes like a Y shape, yeah?
Yeah.
South. And there's a town, you can see, the roads here usually connect all the towns together, so that road goes here. So if I swing around to the right, is there a road that potentially leads down to Safala down here?
Correct.
Yeah, and you can see that river, you can see where the tree line is,
Yeah.
the valley. Remember, rivers sit down in valleys, because that's where the water goes to.
Yeah.
So that's Safala, there's Wattle, Safala, and there's a town, there's a road that connects the two, and as you mentioned, there's like a Y junction to the south in Wattle Flat.
Yeah.
Which you distinguished, so, which you identified, sorry. So that is Wattle Flat. What I'm going to do now is I want you to draw a line direct Rylstone.
so from Sofala I've done it.
Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to write down the track. Roughly get the track from Sofala to Rylstone. Write it down once you finish.
040 roughly.
Uniform number 700.
About 035 by rounded.
Okay, 035, okay. So write that down somewhere. And how many miles is it?
We'll keep an eye out for
035.
uniform November Alpha.
Verified.
24.
Broadcast.
24, eh?
Stand by track.
Okay, and what time do you think we're roughly going to get? How long is that leg going to take us? It's about roughly the same as ground speed to Mudgee.
12 minutes.
Okay, write that down, 12 minutes.
About a
now that's
mile
done.
south of you.
What we're going to do is going to fly over Sofala,
600 they are
which is
now.
just off to
verified.
8 o'clock now. 9 o'clock now.
Oh yeah.
Heading over.
Made at 8,000 and we'll
Control.
go after the
You
traffic.
can get rid of those flaps, and let's reaccelerate. Let's go to Rylstone.
Let me know if you get a visual.
So you put a heading of 035. Your track was what? Your track you put on was 035, right?
Yeah.
Track 034. That's pretty accurate.
I don't think I did the magnetic variation.
I'll just try it again.
So it was 12 degrees east, isn't it?
Yes.
East is least, so you take it away. So it should be 02. What did I say? 023.
Yeah, 023.
Once we got to Rylstone Airpark, we'd have to do 2 low passes to check any obstacles and which runway was best to land on.
I want you to just look and see, you know, what are potential problems with this airfield. Just watch your height.
Animals. Undulations in the runway. It looks like there's potential wet patches, but...
Rylstone traffic, no Boss Romeos, left base, runway 17 for a level pass, Rylstone.
As well as checking for obstacles, we fly at a certain speed and time how long it takes to go along the runway, so that we know that it's long enough to get into or out of. This is just a practice in case we ever have to land in a field, but I have to admit, as the house at the end of the runway got closer, all I wanted to do was add the power and climb.
Go around. Keep it too low. What do you think?
I think we can get in.
Okay. That was roughly about 20 seconds long, a bit over 20 seconds. So let's go back to 2500, we're going to do a landing here.
So we'd worked out that the runway was long enough. All we needed to do now was avoid the terrain and the animals.
So when you land, just try and keep that nose wheel up as long as you can.
Yeah, move cow.
And yeah, don't worry about the brakes just yet. And you can add some brakes.
Rylstone Park. November Oscar Romeo is backtracking 17 for fuel Bathurst. Rylstone Park.
And the wind picked up all of a sudden.
That's the first time I've landed on a grass runway.
Now you can see there that you don't brake straight, and you want to hold that back pressure because it sounds like the wheels are going to fall off.
Yeah.
That's just the suspension doing its job. It's designed to land on this stuff, but you have to be careful. If there's a big ditch in the runway we missed and we don't have that back pressure, propeller it'll just clean into the dirt. Do you want to go just here, the fuel bowser?
Rylstone Park, November Oscar Romeo is clear of all runways. Rylstone Park.
Off. Right, yeah. If you want a drink, you can grab the can I had. I threw it somewhere back here. I'll debrief you, and then on the way back, I want you to try and fix these things up. Okay.
I was quite impressed with Rylstone Airpark, a small grass airstrip in countryside with a clubhouse where you can sit, watch the aircraft coming and going, and when you gain access to the clubhouse there's a TV, lounge, kitchen area with drinks, and upstairs there's even a shower and a bedroom in case you need to stay. I think I'll be back one day. For the second flight we had to go through the controlled airspace around Richmond Air Force Base, or divert around if we couldn't get permission. But first, I'd have to depart from a grass runway for the first time as well.
Okay, you ready?
When you're ready. Hey, T's and P's are all looking green.
1, 2.
Yep, it's good.
Right.
When you're ready, let's go. If we're not close to rotation by that second hangar we just mentioned,
Yep.
we're aborting.
Yeah. Rylstone Park, November Oscar Romeo is rolling 35.
There's 50, just slowly rotate. Yeah.
There we go. I'll just lower the nose to pick up some speed. 65. We'll climb away.
And the next technical hitch. The battery on one of the cameras expired. For the time being, we had one camera left, and it was the one with our audio.
Sydney approach, g'day, November Oscar Romeo.
November Oscar Romeo approach.
November Oscar Romeo is Cherokee, approximately 39 miles to the northwest of Richmond for Bankstown, 5,500. Request clearance to Bankstown via Richmond.
November Oscar Romeo, stand by.
Yeah, that's Glenn Davis down there.
Oh yeah.
More obvious. It's weird, it's kind of, you want to try and get your clearance, you don't know if they've forgotten about it.
November Oscar Romeo, squawk 0363.
0363, November Oscar Romeo.
November Oscar Romeo, identified, verify level.
November Oscar Romeo, 5,500 on 1010.
November Oscar Romeo, thanks, you're cleared. Richmond Prospect 5,500, Richmond QNH 1008.
Go to Richmond and Prospect 5,500 and 1008, November Oscar Romeo.
That's our clearance, we can go straight through.
Beautiful.
Unfortunately, not long after, the battery on this camera went as well, but I can assure you it was a very, very good landing, I promise. It only bounced once. So, it was a successful flight, but I've learned a couple of things that I'm going to need. 1, a stopwatch. 2, cameras with better battery life. But the important thing here is that it was a success. Thanks again for watching my Flying for Fred series. If you'd like to support the channel, you can do so absolutely free by hitting the like and subscribe buttons at the bottom of this video. If you would like to support the channel financially, there's a QR code on the screen now and links in the description. Thank you once again. We'll see you next time.